Namaskar. Welcome to the example number 22 for the event Marriage Prospects. In this example, we are going to study a male child who got married at his early age of 18 on compulsion due to the family circumstances. His mother expired at his age of 17, and as per his wish, immediately after her first year of death anniversary, he was compelled to get married to his relative due to the family circumstances. The family members all forced him to get married without his consent, without his interest. But if you study the book Dilad in which he got married, study the destiny, definitely destiny will indicate marriage also, trouble in marriage, and it will support for the more than a marriage also. And thus a lot also the same way. But if you check the book Dilad, as per our EPS standard, the book Dilad should be the strongest one to conduct the marriage. But if you study that book Dilad, it is having some supportive signification and key planets are all playing, but it is not stronger enough. But some other planet also better than that. But on account of the compulsion, he had to get married during that period. So same Buddhi, in a supportive or favorable antra, the event happened. But within the same Buddhi, the Buddhi Lord is mixed one. The same Buddhi, in unfavorable antra, that wife, no, she left him. And after that period, in a favorable Dasa Buddhi, he again got married as a second marriage. So let us study in this chart how these things are all signified. Normally, if you study, I used to say that when a planet is having some mixed signification, that mixed signification planet and favorable strength can be increased by way of support, right? Similarly, even in life also, you would have seen that many people, they will have some period will be supportive or non-supportive for a particular event. It is a mixed significator for an event. If the destiny is already given mixed signification, during the unfavorable period, if he wants to do something or he is trying to do something, due to the external people, other people will be saying that, no, you can do this. You will be able to do that. So that is sometimes it is good only because we are looking for some money. Somebody is giving the money and all, helping us is good. But what will happen at that time, that period will support for that. Immediately that event, that native also will tend to do that. But after that, what will happen, when the period is over, when other period is coming, the same period, the Buddhi, in a different antra, or if the next to Buddhi, it is not favorable, because destiny is already having the green signal for red signal for the unfavorable, that event will be into trouble. That is what happening in our life. That is what planets also doing. I think we're able to understand. So what we have to do, we have to advise them if the destiny is weak, destiny having mixed signification, the Dasa Buddhi are also having some weakness, then we are not supposed to do such things during that period. That is first point. Second point, when the native is under the compulsion, it is dependent. Suppose the people are below 21 years, they are dependent on somebody, right? Parents or guardian. Then when this person is about 18 years only, there definitely nobody will be asking his consent because he's under the influence of the society and the family, and they forced to get married. Like in olden days, people used to get at Balya Vivah without knowing what it is, right? So even the male or boy or girl get married in a very young age, and even below 10 also Balya Vivah used to do it. So therein, those planets during that period, definitely it will indicate such signification, but it will not be strong enough to conduct the marriage. Only because of the support only it was conducted. If the destiny is favorable and running period also favorable, then there is no issue. There will not be any issue, that will continue. But if the destiny is already given the red signal, during that unfavorable period, that marriage will end up into trouble. That is what we have to keep it in mind. So now let us study the chart. Example 22, second marriage. For the second marriage or more than a marriage, that common rule is if the seventh cuspal sublord signifies 7th house, 9th house, 11th house houses along with the unfavorable house grouping 1, 6, 10, 8, 12. Why these significations are required? To make that marriage, first marriage, get failed. It means that when the seventh sublord is signifying favorable houses and also unfavorable houses, that will lead to the failure of this first marriage, and it will favor for the second marriage in the favorable dasa period. Now the second marriage is indicated by the ninth house, strong signification of ninth house signified by the seventh house, because that is third house to the seventh house. Apart from that, second house, 11th house can also join hands with them. If Mercury planet or dual sign is involved, it will further support for the more than a marriage. Then in this chart, first marriage happened during the weak Dasabhukti periods on compulsion due to family circumstances. But wife separated in same Bhukti in unfavorable Antra. The second marriage happened in the favorable Dasabhukti Antra. That we are going to study now in this chart. It is the EPS table. This is the birth chart of that male. Now we are going to study the general study. Let me open that North Indian chart and let us study the seventh rulers and their influence. Lagna is falling in Scorpio. Seventh cusp is falling in the Taurus. Seventh Lord Venus is posted in own sign. That is fine. But it is conjoined with the sixth Lord Mars. Seventh Lord and also 12th Lord. Conjoined with Mars, Mars is Lagna Lord and 6th Lord. So 7th Lord posted in own sign, but it is conjoined with the Lagna Lord and 6th Lord Mars. So that is indicating weakness because 7 is supported by the Lagna and unfavorable 6 and 12 also, it is combined. Now, if any other planet is influencing the 7th Lord, 7th Lord Venus is aspected by Mars. Mars is 9th Lord. So, that 9th Lord ninth Lord Moon is aspecting the 7th Lord Mars from the sign of Mars itself. So, now the 7th Lord is supported by Lagna and 6 and 12 unfavorable and 9th house. So 7 is connected to 9th house, influenced by moon planet, 9th Lord. So that is all supportive for, indirectly it is supportive for the more than a relationship or more than a marriage. Also it is supportive for some weakness. Now this is a basic study. So with the indirect supports or to the, with the help of that extended significations only, we can find its overall strength and weakness and also destiny. But in the general study, 7th Lord is influenced by 6th Lord and 12th Lord. That 7th Lord itself is 12th Lord, influenced by this 6th house and 12th house signification, Lagna signification, and also 9th house significations. 9th house is supporting for the 7th house, which is already influenced by the 6th house and 12th house houses. So now let us study the self-significations and also the destiny. Now let me take you to the EPS page. Already I have selected the event 1, marriage event 1. I have already selected. Now we have to check the self-significations. Self-significator planet colors. Just a minute. Yeah. Lagna Lord also 6th Lord, occupying 7th house. 1 and 7 is good. 6th Lord occupying 7th house and 4, 8 star lord. So this is not good. 1 and 7 is fine, but 6, 4, 8, 12 is not good. So definitely that Mars is a mixed significator, because 6 is further supported by 4, 8. So it can be considered as the, light pink, or sorry, light red also, because Lagna Lord occupying 7 is okay, but 6th Lord occupying 7 and having 4, 8 is having weakness. Anyway, let us make it as a pink only. 7th Lord and 12th Lord occupying 7, but 4, 8 cuspal star sublord. So again, this is a problem. 7th Lord and also 12th Lord. This is not a problem, but occupying 7th house, 7 is supported, but 12 and 4, 8 sublord is weak. So let us make Venus also mixed. So mixed, we are giving pink, that all the mixed whatever we have selected are having weak signification strongly, that we have to keep it in mind. And second lord, fifth lord, Jupiter occupying 7th house, close to 8th cusp and 9th star lord. This is good actually. 2, 5, 7, some obstacles, but 9th star lord, this is good. Second planet Ketu 5 and 2, 6, 10. This is talking about the professional prospect, but this is good. But because of this, influence and 8 influence, we can make Jupiter is blue. Next, Mercury. 8th lord, 11th lord occupying 10th house. 8 is occupying 10th house. 11 is occupying 10th house. 11 is not supported, 8 is supported. But sublord for 5 and 11. This is good. 11th lord and 5 and 11 cuspal sublord is good. But being the 8th lord occupying 10th house, getting the support to the 8th house, and look at the second planet Rahu is 11 occupying 12, 6, 9 and 12. This is a mixed signification, but 6 and 12 cuspal sublord, and this 8, 10, so unfavorable or strongly present along with the favorable. So this also actually mixed only, right? And next one is 9th lord occupying first house. This is favorable, but 10th sublord. So 9, 1 is fine, but 10th sublord, it is weak. So what we can do, we can make blue, because 10 alone is not detrimental. So we can make it blue. And Ketu, 5th occupant, and 2, 6, 10 cuspal star lord, second planet Jupiter is fine. So what we can do, this one 5, 2, 6, 10. So this is also mixed only. And Sun, 10th lord occupying 9th house, and 3, 7, 11 star lord and second cuspal sublord. This grouping is very good. Being the 10th lord, having some weakness, but moving towards all favorable. So that way, Sun we can give light green, because just because of the 10th lord, we cannot give dark green, but because of this all favorable grouping, we can give light green. And Rahu is 11th occupant, 12th star lord, 6, 9, 12 star lord, sublord. So 11 and 9 are fine, supportive. You can see 9th house is supportive for the 7th house, but 6 and 12 are unfavorable. 12th star lord and 6 and 12. So this is unfavorable. 11 and 9 are favorable, further supported by the Mercury. Actually, because of the 6 and 12, we have to give light red. But because of the 11 and 9, unfavorable Mercury are present, we can give pink. We have to see that there are many pinks we have given. We should be able to differentiate that. Pink means all majority of the planets are having mixed significations, both favorable and unfavorable. And only with some weakness, we are giving the blue color. But otherwise, we are all giving, pink shade only. You can see moon is blue, 1, 6, 7, 4, 8. 6, 4, 8 is bad because of the 1 and 7. We have, sorry, not this one. 9th lord occupying Lagna. This is good. So because of the 9, 1 is good, but because of the 10th sublord, we are given the blue. Mars is 1 and 7 is good, but 6, 4, 8, 12. This actually is weak. We can give Mars also light red, but 1 and 7 is good, so we have given that pink. But if you look at when compared to the moon, Jupiter is comparatively better. 2, 5, 7, 9. 8 only is not a problem. But second planet is got big. So Jupiter, instead of blue, we can give light green, right? Because like Sun, we have given, Jupiter can be given light green, not the dark green. And Saturn, third lord, seventh lord occupying ninth house, 15137 cuspal sublord. This is very good. So definitely Saturn, though it is fourth lord, 4 is not supported, 3 is further supported with very good house grouping. Saturn can be given dark green. So I think we are given all the colors. Many planets are mixed. Moon only having that blue color because of the 10th sublord, and no strong favorable grouping. It is fine. So, but light red is given to any planet. Rahu is actually can be given light red because of this 12, 6 and 12 cuspal sublord. But Rahu, because of the 11 and 9, we have given the pink. But we have to keep it in mind. Rahu is having 6 and 12 cuspal sublord. You can see Mercury 8th lord, 11th lord occupying 10th house, 5, 11 cuspal sublord. It has to be given actually blue because 11 and 5 and 11 cuspal sublord. Second planet only having some weakness, that Rahu we have already given pink shade mix, then Mercury can be given blue. You see why I'm doing such things when you are also doing such a self-signification study. Initially, we will feel that, okay, this planet is not strong enough to get this color. But once we complete our self-signification study of all the planets, while comparing the planet which are having the similar colors what we have given, then we'll feel that, okay, this planet is comparatively better than the other planet. Otherwise, we'll not be able to differentiate. I think you are able to understand. Such practice will be more useful. Now let me set colors. Now let us go to the home page and check the destiny. Now let us study the destiny. Just a minute. Self-significators. Now, which are the rulers of the seventh house? Seventh lord is Venus. Seventh sublord is Saturn. Let us check both Venus and Saturn. And there are many planets are occupying seventh house. Venus is occupying seventh house. Seventh lord itself is occupying seventh house. Mars is occupying seventh house. Jupiter also in the seventh house, but close to the eighth cusp. So these are the planets are influencing the seventh house. Okay. Now seventh lord Venus is a pink shade. It's a mixed one. 7, 7, 4, 8. Having weakness at the source. Star level planet Mars, actually it is also a mixed one. 1 and 7 is good, and the 6, 4, 8 are not good. If you remember, if you look at that birth chart, we can see Venus and Mars. Venus is in the star of Mars. That Mars and Venus are conjoined together, right? You can see one more thing also. Venus is in 29 degree 14 minutes. Jupiter is in 1 degree 59 minutes in the different sign, next sign Gemini. But Venus is in own sign. If you look at the Venus and Jupiter's degrees, though they are in different signs, they are very closely present. So 29 degrees, this is 1 degree 59 minutes. So it means though they are in different signs, they are also physically conjoined. That also we have to keep it in mind. Now you can see that Venus is conjoined with the Mars, and of course, this is both are conjoined with the Jupiter. So Jupiter is our green planet that we have to keep it in mind. Venus and Mars are in conjoined. And star lord of the star lord is moon. It is okay, supportive. Sublord is green planet, dark green planet. So that way, Venus, seventh lord in the star of mixed, and 12 level is supporting, and sublord is a favorable key planet. So that way, this is supportive for the marriage. but it is having the unfavorable 12, 4, 8. Seventh Lord is going to experience in self-signification itself. It is saying that it is having some mixed signification. And Star Lord is Mars is again 7 is going to experience these 6, 4, 8, indicating some struggle, some failures also can be expected. And Sublord is favoring for that. It is a mixed significator we can identify. Now let us check the seventh sublord Saturn. Seventh sublord Saturn is good, and star lord planet Mercury also blue. It is good only because 11, 5, 11 all favoring to the favorable. But if you study that, if you check that star lord of the star lord of the star lord is weak. Saturn is good, Starlord is good. At second planet having some weakness, because of that we have given that blue color. But if you look at this CSL and all this combination, it is good. Seventh sublord is experiencing favorable, but 6 and 12 are secondarily present. And look at the Starlord of the Starlord Ketu is a mixed one, and it is having some weakness, but it is very good. And 12 planets, second planet is Jupiter is a good planet. And sublord is Rahu. Rahu also mixed one. You can see 11, 6, 9, 6, 12, and supported by Mercury. You can look at star lord planet Mercury, second planet only ruling the sublord. And the last 12 planet also is a mixed one. If you look at the signification, third lord occupying 9th house, 1, 5, 1, 3, 11, 137 sublord in the star of favorable key planet supportive for the 7th house, but indirectly having some weakness because of the Rahu. 12 planet also supportive to the 5th house, some weakness, but second planet is supportive. But look at the Rahu sublord, which is acting as the second planet to the star lord. This is acting as the sublord deciding factor. The seventh sublord is influenced by this 12, 6, 12, and also 9. It indicates that seventh sublord planet is supportive for marriage with some struggle, and you can see it is supportive for the separation. Result planet is talking about separation, but along with that 11, 9, 5, 11 supportive for the second marriage. So destiny planet is supportive for marriage also. It is supportive for the second marriage also because of the unfavorable signification it is having that. So strong favorable K planet is Saturn, then Mercury. Mercury is another favorable K planet, though it is given blue color because of this favorable grouping. It is also supportive. And what are the other planets? Jupiter. These are the Saturn, Mercury, Jupiter. These planets are ruling the destiny. If you look at the seventh Lord planet, favorable key planet is strongly Saturn only. So these are the favorable key planets, and other unfavorable key planets are actually, if you see that Rahu is playing the unfavorable along with some supports. And in the seventh Lord planet, Mars is playing role on the unfavorable side. So Mars and Rahu are on the unfavorable side, ruling the destiny. And Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury are ruling the, favorable. Apart from that, Sun, a free planet, it is having that self-signification very strong. So definitely those planets also will be playing role. Let us check whether seventh sublord is under the influence of Sun. Yes, Saturn is conjoined with the Sun, being a free planet, and also it is influencing or supporting to the that seventh cuspal sublord, and Mercury also having Sun. So that planet and star lord and also sublord Rahu also indirectly getting the influence of the Sun. So Sun is an important key planet that we have to keep it in mind. Because it is a free planet, its role is restricted and limited. That is influencing the seventh sublord and star lord Mercury, and sublord also indirectly. So that way, Jupiter, Sun, Saturn, Mercury are the strong favorable key planets. I think you are able to understand. Now let us check the Dasa Lord, which Dasa was running during that period that native got married. As I was telling that native got married in early age. At the time, his mother actually expired. Let us check that period. Venus Dasa was running at the age of say 17 to 19. Rahu Bugdi was running. Rahu Bugdi made all the events. It means that native experience death of his mother and his first marriage on compulsion, and separation also happened within Rahu. Rahu, we know that Rahu is the strong unfavorable key planet on its own. And let us study how that Venus Dasa is supportive for all those things first. Dasa Lord we already discussed being the seventh Lord. The seventh Lord is going to experience some weakness definitely. Sublord is favoring for the marriage we discussed. Now let us study whether that Saturn is influencing or supporting to the source planet, that is planet Dasa Lord and Bugdi Lord. Dasa Lord Venus is getting the support of Jupiter and other blue planet Moon all present. Star Lord planet Mars is having some weakness, but that is being further supported by again Moon and Mercury. Mercury is a good key planet. We know that only the Rahu is a secondary planet is weak. That is also indirectly influencing the Mars. That Mercury is the ruler of that Venus also. That way it is passing ruler link also. So star level planet weakness is there. That weakness is reduced by the 911 because 1 and 7 are supported by 9 and 1, but also 10 is also supporting to the 648. But because of the favorable supports, its unfavorable strength are reduced, but somehow it is supportive for the marriage, but because the sublord is strongly favorable. Unfortunately, the Saturn is not passing its ruler link to the source planet or the effect planet. So that way that Venus is supportive to some extent with the help of that sublord and other supportive planets, and but it is also supportive for the problem. Because it is a seventh house is experiencing all these things that you have to keep it in mind. Now, in Rahu period, if you see, in Rahu, you know that Rahu itself is having weakness because that is the 6, 9, 12 cuspal sublord. It is having both favorable and also it is talking about the unfavorable in the source planet. Star Lord planet is Mars. Mars itself is again weakness, plus and minus are present. So Venus, Star Lord Mars itself is playing role here. And sublord is again Rahu. Rahu is mixed one. Planet Mercury is fine. That second planet Mercury is fine. But sublord Rahu, second planet is Mercury is fine. But again, you can see Mars and Mars are, influencing this Rahu. So it is all indicating weakness only, not very strong. The role of Saturn, which is the strong favorable key planet for the Dasa Lord, it is not playing role. Since it is Rahu is repeated, let us check the sub-sublord. Sub-sublord of the Rahu is Venus. So Venus is the Dasa Lord, right? So Dasa Lord's favorable key planet when compared to other planet, Dasa Lord itself is 7th Lord, 7th occupant, and it is conjoined with Mars and aspected by Moon. That's what we checked. So that way what happened, Venus is having some strength, but what happened? All the rulers are not, that Rahu is not strongly present. Our Saturn is not directly playing role. Sun is not directly playing role, making at least one level is stronger. But all the levels are influenced by mixed key planets only. Because of that, the Dasa Lord is also mixed, Bugdi Lord also mixed. But Bugdi Lord is having supportive signification. Because of that, that Rahu supported for the marriage on compulsion. That Rahu, is supported for the demise of his mother also. That also we can check by way of from this fourth house as a lagna if you calculate. So now we are not going to discuss about that. Let us focus on the marriage prospects. So under Rahu Dasa, under Rahu Bugdi, then that his mother expired in the early 1995. Early 1995 means you can see in Rahu 95 early Saturn Antra. During Saturn Antra, his mother expired. Saturn Antra, you can see Star Lord and Sublord are all unfavorable. This is talking about 257. Sorry, I'm looking at wrong planet. Saturn is here. Yeah, you can see Saturn. Saturn is third lord, fourth lord. This is itself is indicating it is talking about the mother. Third lord, fourth lord occupying ninth house, and star lord is planet is having mixed signification, supporting to the Maraga Badaga houses to the mother and all. So that also you can find how Saturn is influencing. So under Rahu, Saturn, Antra, that native's mother expired. Okay. So Saturn has given the marriage, death under the Rahu Bhukti. Now, if you see that after 1 year, because within 1 year they will not be doing any marriage, or they, according to their practice, they follow. Okay. Before the first anniversary or immediately after the first anniversary of that his mother's demise, they can conduct the marriage also according to their practice. So 95 early she got her mother expired, and in the 96 early that Venus Antra, because Venus is the planet which is supporting as a sub lord, and also Venus itself is the Dasa lord. So you know that Venus is the planet which is having Saturn. So which is missing here in Rahu, which is there in Venus. So Venus Dasa, Rahu Bugdi, Venus Antra, the native got married to his relative as per her mother's desire. But you can see both Rahu and Venus are all not strong. Especially Bugdilad is not strong enough. That one good thing is that Rahu is not having seventh house here, right? If seventh is present here, star lord is going to be, it give more unfavorable. You can see in Saturn, you would have seen that. Venus, you would have seen that Venus is having that seventh lord in the star of Mars. It is getting weakness, but that is being supported by the 2A level and strongly supported by the Saturn at the sub level. Here it is not the case. Rahu is not having any 7, so 7 is not getting the unfavorable strongly. And the sublord again that Rahu is playing, so it is a mixed signification. So that is the reason that Rahu is supportive but not strongly unfavorable. But still, you can see Rahu is 6th sublord. It is getting the support of 6, 4, 8, 6, 12. So again, unfavorable or strongly also, getting the grouping at all levels. So because of that, Venus Dasa, Rahu Bugdi, Venus Antra, he got married. Rahu, to some extent, it has supported because of the compulsion or the circumstances. Lagna is not interested in this. Now, after Rahu, Venus got married. So then, during that unfavorable Antra, his wife left him. Within same Rahu Bugdi, Venus Antra and Mars Antra, she left. Venus Antra gave the marriage, and Mars Antra, she left. Because Mars is the planet in Venus Dasa and Venus Antra, and also Bugdi Lord. Mars is the planet is talking about 1, 6, and 4, 8. It is the unfavorable planet, significations for the marriage. That when Mars is playing role as the Antra, Mars is in the star of this one, which is supportive, but 6, 4, 8 is supported by the 10, and 2A level is reducing the strength, but look at the Rahu. It means what? Unfavorable key planet of the Bugdilad is Rahu. That Rahu is playing role here for the Mars, and Mars also is the source planet is unfavorable. Starlord is mixed. After Venus, Antra, you see he was running Sun. Sun is not having the Rahu in rulers. And Moon is also not having the Rahu as a ruler directly. Only second planet. All are favorable. So that's why somehow that girl was, maintaining patience. After that, Mars was coming. That Mars is in this, Mars itself is weak, unfavorable key planet of the Bugdilad, and the Solad also unfavorable key planet is Mars, that is playing role, not just because of that. That is in the star of Moon having some weakness, but starlord of the starlord Mercury is fine, but the second planet is playing unfavorable, but importantly Rahu sublord. So these two unfavorable key planets are ruling the source and the result. Suppose the star lord and other planets are under the influence of these unfavorable other houses, then it is going to be more unfavorable. You can see in the star of Moon, Moon is having Venus and Mars conjunction, and favorable Sun, Saturn are present. But you can see that Mars itself is present in the support of the Moon, because Mars is aspecting to the Moon, right? Aspected by Moon and aspecting, both are mutually aspecting, right? So in the Moon in the sign of Mars only. So Mars is influencing this Moon and strongly supported by the unfavorable houses in the sublord. So that way during Mars period she left. Same Bugdilad's unfavorable key planet, which planet is having that planet as Antralad has given the separation. So I think you are able to understand the role of the key planet, which is playing role in this now. Now, after that, Rahu is over. What happened? After the Rahu is over, then Venus, Dasa, Rahu, Bugdi, then Venus is not so strong enough for the marriage prospects. So it did not favor for the second marriage, because it is supportive for seventh house and indirectly some ninth house, but it is not strongly supporting for the ninth house, because ninth house signification is not playing role in Venus Dasa. So then in Venus Dasa, it is ninth house significator, which planet is there? Moon is present and Rahu is ninth sublord indirectly present. So in the supportive or strong favorable Bugdi, it can favor for the marriage, provided that Bugdi should be stronger enough. In Venus Dasa, after the Rahu Bugdi over, and Jupiter is not strong, because in the star of Mars, and Saturn in the star is fine. Saturn is good because ninth house, seventh sublord, Mercury is good, but 12 level planet having some weakness. Sublord planet Rahu is coming directly, it is not good. You can see that ninth sublord planet Rahu's role is important, because that is ninth sublord and 11th lord also, so 11th occupant also. But since Rahu is having 6 and 12 sublord, its role directly, if it is appearing like Rahu itself, it will not favor, it can give trouble, because it can lead to 6 and 12 also. Instead of that, if Mercury is playing role like this, that Rahu's role will be indirectly supporting. So Saturn, Mercury's role is important, that will favor, but Rahu directly, if it is coming, that can give some weakness. That we have to keep it in mind. So Saturn, Venus Dasa, Saturn, Bugdi look supportive but not very strong. Then after that, Mercury. Mercury is not strong, because Mercury star level having some weakness, and sub level is also weakness. Then Ketu, if you check, Ketu occupant of the fifth house, it is having some mixed signification supported by Jupiter. Star lord planet is Mercury. That Mercury is giving strength, like for Saturn, Mercury star lord is good. Similarly, Ketu star lord is also good. Then look at the sublord Rahu. Rahu also the same way. like Saturn, and like Saturn, Rahu, that Ketu also having the similar sublord. So now the problem is what? Whether Saturn is strong or Ketu is strong, because both are having the Mercury and also Rahu. These are the two planets which are favorable for the second marriage, but Rahu, when compared to Mercury, is having some weakness because of the 6 and 12. So which planet is comparatively better, whether the Ketu or Saturn? If you look at that, as per the rule, being the seventh sublord, having got favorable and moving towards that 6 and 12 at the sublord is indicating weakness to the seventh house. But this is not having any seventh house, but it is having some mixed signification. Fifth occupant representing Jupiter 2579. It is good. So here seventh house is not getting the unfavorable signification. So because of the presence of the favorable primary house cuspal sublord and sublord is having weakness, it is indicating some weakness to the seventh house. But it is not that way. In such case, under Venus Dasa, Ketu Bugdi, that native actually did not get married during that period. During Ketu Bugdi, it was supportive for such marriage prospects, that all discussion, all the confirmation, everything would have supported during that Ketu period. But actually, marriage happened during the January, February of the, I will tell you the period, in Sun Dasa, Sun Bugdi, Sun Antra. You can see this. January, February, this January month. Sun Dasa, Sun Bugdi, Sun Antra, during that period, that actual second marriage is conducted. So it was conducted during this period. So definitely few months before, during that Ketu Bugdi, that marriage confirmation has been taken. It means what? During that Ketu Bugdi, Venus Dasa, Ketu Bugdi, Saturn Antra, definitely 3, 9, 1, 3, 7, 5, 11, all supported for the confirmation on the marriage fixation. So under Ketu Bugdi, Saturn Antra, during that September, October, November of 2006, that marriage was fixed, second marriage. And during that Sun, during the January of 2007, the second marriage happened. How come that January of the 2007, Sun has supported for the marriage? You can see Sun itself is a good planet. 9, 3, 7, 11, and 2. Star Lord is our strong, favorable key planet, supportive for marriage and also second marriage. 12 level Mercury has become, again Sun is becoming. So this is a very good planet. So this is the period, definitely he should have got the marriage, but this is also supporting for 9, 5, 3, 7, all are present. So it is supportive for the second marriage strongly. If you look at the seventh sublord planet Saturn, Saturn itself is playing role, Mercury also playing role, and Rahu playing role, but not directly, but as a second planet. You can see 9, 9, all are favorable. So because of that, Sun, he got the marriage. But prior to that, during Venus period, and the Ketu Bugdi was running, which is supportive for the marriage prospects for the second marriage, but it is not strong enough. So under Venus, Ketu Bugdi, Saturn Antra, marriage was fixed, and during that Sun Dasa, Sun Bugdi, Sun Antra, that marriage, second marriage happened. I think would have understood how the, if you, somebody is asking when which is the good period for the marriage to happen, definitely we'll choose Sun Dasa. We would have not selected, no, Venus is not good. So Venus, Saturn can be supportive, but 7 is moving towards this one. This is not going to be good. So Saturn also we will not recommend. Only Sun only we will recommend. But after Saturn, Mercury is coming. Mercury's star level, sub-level are weak. It will not favor. But Ketu is comparatively better because of the absence of the star level Rahu, or star level is Mars, which is unfavorable, but it is having weakness at the source and the result, but it is not having the favorable seventh house, which can lead to trouble at the sub level. That is the one good point. But because of that, only Ketu supported for the second marriage engagement or fixation. But second marriage happened during the Sun Dasa, Sun Buddhi, Sun Mantra. I think you are able to understand how the destiny is supportive for the marriage and also some trouble in the marital life, and also, it is indicating second marriage also. The same planet, the Sol Lord, which is having some favorable signification during the mixed significator only, that Dasa Buddhi is supported for the marriage. Same Buddhi as supported for the separation also, and marriage broke because of the separation of the wife, and second marriage happened during the strong favorable Dasa Buddhi Yantra without any problem that native is living his marital life. I think you are able to understand. Then we will see in the next video. Thank you.